I used to like her too.
Yeah,
I haven't heard the full version of this clip. I just, like I said earlier, so disappointed on her take on the Imus thing.
If you notice in this clip, that she's from that school of thought where white people are incapable of talking about black people. You're just incapable. How do you know? Have you ever been black? That whole thing, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because that angle annoys me too. It's a way of diffusing a smart point.
Hey, you don't have an argument? Oh, right, I'm not black.
Because that's like saying Whoopi Goldberg is a woman. Well, you shouldn't ever discuss male issues because you've never been a man. It's like that's a bullshit cop-out.
Yeah.
All right, let's play the clip here.
With the OJ verdict, white America said that's it, the white guilt bank is shut down, and that ended up being the best thing that ever happened to black Americans. I meant that no longer...
Being acquitted was good for who?
Yes, because you had millions of white people watching with the equivalent of what in New York we used to refer to as the Brooklyn juries, who simply would not convict even guilty black criminals, not innocent black criminals.
Hold up, Ms. Coulter, please stop, please stop. If you're going to talk about race, at least know what you're talking about.
What?
There you go. Whoopi making a good point right there.
Is she in enemy fucking territory there? And then the View audience, woo, I'm a guilty white person. Oh, God.
And Ann was giving her, she was giving an informed opinion.
Yes.
If you don't agree with it, just say, no, here's why you're wrong, because they would convict you back then, because, you know.
Right.
Have a counterpoint to it.
Of course.
Talking about. At least know what you're talking about.
You can't just discount her like that.
No.
Tell me how much you know about being black.
Well, this isn't about being black.
Well, but you just said, you just made all these statements about how black people feel. Tell me how you know that. Yeah, you did.
This is not a book about black people. It is a book about white liberals. And I do know, and this is a fact, that once for years, Republican policies on crime and welfare, for example, were called racist. When they finally got implemented, after the OJ verdict, I might add, by Giuliani in New York, Reagan and Bush judges overall, tens of thousands of black lives were saved. That is a fact. I don't have to know about being black, but I know because
your facts are just a little shaky. I mean, you're saying that because black people, because liberals are what? Because liberals have abandoned black people now.
This what's happening right here.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And this is what happens to Ann Coulter all the time.
Yeah.
If she says something, and you think it's fuck you, you're not supposed to like it, but listen to the counterpoint. She's just reacting because Ann Coulter said something about race that she doesn't like because it's coming out of that little thin white mouth,
exactly,
and blonde hair.
She doesn't know how to handle it.
But she's giving nothing. She's giving no counterpoint,
none
whatsoever, other than an emotional reaction of, "Well, you don't know what it's like to be black." And wait, it's like
she has no idea how to respond to that, but she feels she has to because they've been trained. Every Democrat, liberal, they've been trained to not allow white people to discuss race.
And Ann is hated by a lot of people, I get. Hey, look, if you hate her opinion, that's fine, but you can't sit there and say she's dumb. And if you're going to debate her on her book and race, you better be fucking prepared.
I hate her because she could eat anything, and it just doesn't go to her thighs like me. Oh my God. Stays so slender.
But that reaction is really just Whoopi being. And Whoopi's not a dumb person. She can't figure out how to respond because she's annoyed, and she shouldn't be annoyed by what Ann just said.
She's blinded at times. We
totally blinded by race in this discussion.
Blows off her own intelligence and is blinded by race.
That's exactly it. Because she said all these policies implemented by Bush and Reagan judges saved black lives. You better have an answer for that, not just, well, you're not black.
Right.
That's pretty much what she said.
Your black people, because liberals are what? Because liberals have abandoned black people now. Because what? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Wow. I don't get it. Just say that then.
We got part 2 here.
Oh yeah.
So are you saying that liberals don't care about black people? Then are you saying Republicans embrace us in a war?
She shouldn't even be able to talk that one because she still thinks the earth is flat, right?
Oh my God.
That's the earth is flat one?
Every time she talks, that's all I could think of is when she didn't know.
They should pretty much tell her, shut up.
She was on the show.
Don't
one
worry,
day.
we'll talk pop culture, and you can have a little fun with that. But
And,
don't.
yeah, they were
Not the
quizzing
heavy
her.
lifting shit.
They were quizzing her about the Earth and whether it was flat or not as a goof, really.
Can we play that?
And she
for
was
the
like,
people?
I don't know.
I think she annoys me more than any of them.
She's terrible.
She said, by the way, she actually had a better question than Whoopi did.
Yeah.
She said, "So what are you saying? Republicans embrace us?" Like
There you
that's at least some kind of a counterpoint saying,
Yeah.
You know what? Then maybe I should listen.
No, but
because all I think is she thinks the Earth is flat. I don't want to know anything else for this dumb broad.
don't be Whoopi Goldberg.
I
With
know,
her.
I think I just
You're
did
doing
that.
a Whoopi Ann.
Yeah, but come on. We could pretty much prove at this point that the Earth is not flat.
Yeah.
I think almost we could all be in agreement, unless you
think
want to be
so.
one of those assholes that has to just be the opposite guy always. Is this the world is flat clip? How long is it?
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's worth playing again, and then we'll get back to the Whoopi fight with Ann Coulter.
Is the world flat?
Is the world flat?
Yes.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I never thought about it, Whoopi. Is the world flat? I never thought about it.
You never thought about whether the world was
No, because
round?
but I tell you what I've thought about, how I'm going to feed my child.
Oh,
how I'm gonna
shut
feed
up.
My family. The world flat has never entered into that has not been an
What will you
important
teach?
thing to me.
You'll teach your son Jeffrey,
If my
right?
son Jeffrey asked me, "Is the world flat?" I guess I will go.
Didn't Columbus?
And what?
And
That-
what? Study up
what?
on the world being flat.
Does anyone know what that's about?
Yeah, she's dumb.
She is a dunce.
No, I mean, what is that about? Is she? Does that support some point of view, like
No.
a dinosaur point of view or something?
No. She just honestly didn't know. She's a dummy.
She hasn't-
She's a dummy.
She hasn't looked at all the cool shots from
The
space?
pictures. People that don't have that knowledge don't have a lot of knowledge. That's pretty fucking basic. And that shows you how much other stuff she doesn't know. Because if you don't know the world isn't a sphere, you don't know a lot about the space program.
Yeah.
You haven't looked at pictures of the Earth. You haven't there's so many things she hasn't done to have that on her mind.
And what do they say?
I feed my kids. Oh, okay.
What did they say? The Earth is rounder than what was it? A cue ball.
Oh, if you shrunk the Earth down, even with its highest mountains and its deepest ocean,
Just shrunk it down.
Shrunk
totally.
it down. To
You
the
don't flatten the
size-
mountains or nothing.
Right,
But, right. Go ahead.
And you shrunk it down to the size of a.
I think it was a cue
pool
ball.
Cue ball.
Yeah.
It would be as smooth as the cue ball.
It
Or
would be.
smoother,
They
yeah.
said it would be smoother.
Yeah.
That's how smooth the Earth is.
That's how
in
smooth
the
it
end.
is comparatively. Because even with the mountains and the deepness of the oceans,
Right.
the vastness of the Earth doesn't even make a little ding, ding, nothing. Isn't that amazing?
Do you mean? Well, I think what you're talking about is singularity, and that's what happens.
Singularity.
That's what happens if that's the smallest. Something like the sun's singularity, I think, or singular, whatever, is I think 1.5 miles. That's as small, with all the pressure in the universe. That's as small as the sun could ever get, where no power could make it smaller.
Well, I'm
The
actually
Earth-
talking about literally taking the Earth without pressure or anything and shrinking it down to the size of a pool ball.
Wow.
It
Just so you
wouldn't
could
be
compare
it wouldn't
the
be
two.
rough. It wouldn't be like a rough mountainous
Right.
feeling thing. It would feel very smooth because those peaks and valleys don't really amount to much. when
And
you-
some say it's
Right.
smoother than a cue ball.
Yeah.
If you squash it down to
That's
the
what I
size of a
read.
cue ball. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that.
Red.
Earth in the corner pocket. Fucking take us out, you pig.
we just started. We got
no.
food.
A few more
coming,
minutes
I
and
think.
stuff. So.
I didn't mean Iraq.
Oh,
Here's part 2 of the Whoopi Goldberg and Coulter fight with what's her name? Sherry Shepherd?
Sherry Shepherd.
Sherry or Sherry? Sherry
Sherry.
Shepherd? Pipe it in.
So are
Are
you
you
saying that
saying
liberals
that's
don't care about black people? Then are you saying Republicans embrace us in a warm, fuzzy?
We're not embraced back.
Go back.
But yeah, we tried.
Wait a minute. So the Southern strategy was a white liberal thing? No, it was a Republican thing.
No.
And also,
No,
Newt
that's-
Gingrich calls President Obama the food stamp president. That's not racist?
chapter.
No.
It's not racist.
Do you believe it was racist for Newt to say that the president is the food stamp president?
Well, he
Can you
wouldn't
dive
say
into
that.
that?
If we could
You're the
just
guest, I'll let you
I'm
do
not a
that.
big fan of Newt, so if we could just skip that for a second and get to the Southern strategy.
Yeah.
Because I've specifically disproved it. It's an absolutely liberal folklore. Republicans were winning the South since 1920. It was the outer states of the South. It was Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia.
Voting. What are you talking about? We weren't
Well,
allowed
who
to
was trying to
vote.
get them to vote? Republicans were.
Yeah,
and the
but it's
first,
true.
and the first black congressmen were all Republicans. And the first black governor was a
You were
Republican.
talking about
way back.
After is so different from
No. That is definitely what we're told. But in fact, the Democratic segregationists were all liberal Democrats. It is a lie that they were conservative Democrats.
Everybody was a segregationist, darling. You know, basically, everybody was. White people were. It didn't matter whether they were Republicans or not.
See, Whoopi's Katie, she meant to say white people were, black people were, but she realized she couldn't say that.
Right.
Anne's right. They were Republicans back then were, I think, considered the liberal party, though. So
how long ago?
When Lincoln was around in the 1800s.
Isn't that weird?
I think that's kind of changed. I mean, that's how it changed.
When did it switch?
Don't know.
Because we just assumed the Republicans were always right-leaning.
What about the Whigs?
When did that switch?
What about the Whig Party?
Does anybody know when it's? I really don't know.
Stuntbrain would know.
I mean, the
Call
New
back,
Deal.
you silly goose.
What's that in the 40s? The New Deal, I think. FDR.
Right.
But it might have been way before that it switched.
Whoopi said bullshit there. That's why it goes dark for a second.
It didn't matter whether they were Republicans or not.
Ask you a question.
The first invitation. Just read chapter 14 in this book. The first Republican to be elected herself.
Listen to my grandmother who was there, who remembers what happened.
With a little bit of emotion, Whoopi. Thank you.
And an observation: women cannot argue.
No,
because they all just yap at the same time.
Great into
when guys.
Yeah.
When guys argue in general, you want to make your point, so you sort of wait for the other guy,
right?
Because you know you're just going to be drowned out. So you try to pick your spot. With these hens, it's all at the same time.
Hens. I love when they call them hens.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know what was said in the last 20, 30 seconds of that clip.
And all of them are trying to make points, and Anna's standing there fucking just belting them.
Yeah.
She's belting them all because they're all arguing from this emotional point. None of them are giving any type of a good counterpoint back.
I think she's a sick fuck because she really enjoys that.
Well, she knows it's going to sell books, too.
She really enjoys it, man. She lives for that shit.
Yeah.
I actually live for confrontation too. What am I saying?
She's
but
been
in a different way.
She's been on that end of it so many times. It's almost like
loves it.
It's not the way. You're not going to beat her by doing that.
You're not going to face her.
She's prepared to argue it. You're right, and you're not going to face her. She's prepared to argue.
Disagree, but you're not going to face her.
She is.
You're just not.
No.
Love it.
What do we know about the Republican Party? Did you look that up, Sam? Or are you too busy looking at your views?
Yeah.
Sam.
3.3. I'm watching. Trust me.
Views. We have passed 3.3, but I mean, it depends on. This is one of those things that people just have opinions on. Like one person said it was Reagan. It was as late as that because Strom Thurmond. But Strom Thurmond was a Democrat.
Yeah, but Nixon was Reagan. How about Nixon?
Right.
Nixon was in the 60s.
Who knows this shit?
It depends on the opinion of the person you're asking, I think.
Yeah.
Because there were conservative Democrats in the 50s.
Was McCarthy what was McCarthy? Let me guess.
A Beatle. He's one of the Beatles, stupid.
No, that's McCartney, you fucker. You're incorrigible. I think it was, check McCarthy, I'm pretty sure he was Republican.
I want to know when the switch happened.
That was in the 50s.
I'm sure it took a little while, but when did the switch start happening?
But Ann is right that they were, Republicans were the liberal party back then.
All right. We should take a break. Food's here.
Food's here.
Oh,
yay.
Yeah?
Oh, that's cool, because I got the fucking song. Kenny has the food. Here he comes. Here he comes. It's a song.
Terrible.
It's a great song.
Is that awful?
We have a lot of guests today.
Yes, we do.
So many that it breaks our heart, but we had to say, Katie Sunshine, could you please call Monday?
Yes.
We will be talking to Hula Hoop Girl.
Monday.
But we have so many guests, we had to figure something out.
The beautiful Katie Sunshine.
In her place, we got Bob Kelly.
That's right.
Instead of
exactly. Bobby Black Hole instead of Katie Sunshine.
Is that going to enrage people? We love Bob Kelly. He's coming in at 8. Frank Caliendo's going to be here. He hasn't been on our show in
a few years.
Few years now, man. Big fucking star, that Frank Caliendo.
Yes.
We remember when with him.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Bourdain coming in again. His new CNN show starting soon, I guess.
I'm Anthony Bourdum.
and some guy named Frank Oz. I don't know who he is.
Frank Oz.
Oh, my God.
I don't know who he is, but he'll be in later as well.
You're Anthony Disdain. Bourdain.